Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground is brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
We use high quality graphite rod blanks, typically are where we get started. Portuguese burl cork to build my handles. Stabilized wood for reel seat inserts on the spinning rods. Fuji guides. The next step in the process is to put decals and labels and identification on the rod blank. And the first decal that will go on, it will be our company logo. And this is a decal that we have had made. It's a water slide decal. It needs to be aligned just perfectly. And then the moisture wicked off of it. There we go. And then the client's name goes on. So we're just pressing this is a peel and stick decal, pressing it into the rod blank. And then the top layer comes off. And it leaves a very nice, smooth decal on the rod blank. And we're getting close to the finished part of the process is to do a little decorative butt wrap. It does nothing more than add aesthetic color and some decoration into the butt end of the rod. And I've already got this wrap started. Hopefully we'll be able to get this wrap finished. So from a decorative standpoint, I really enjoy cross-wrapping. Cross-wrapping is nothing more than creating X's and laying thread against those X's or crosses up and down the rod blank. So previously I marked the rod blank where these crosses are going to be for the length of the wrap that I wanted to achieve. And I've already got this started, so we will continue now with adding more color and maybe a little different design into the wrap. This is what I call a modified diamond, which wraps up and down the rod blank 4 times to create a diamond effect. And I'm just laying those threads right next to the other. Cross-wrapping is kind of a unique art that's unique to rod building. There's not a lot of information available as to how to do this, kind of trial and error and learn by yourself. However, there's a couple of very good books available that give you a fairly good idea as to how to go about it, and then it's just a matter of developing technique, a little practice, and you're ready to go. The next thing we do before we finish is we've got to pack all of these threads together so that they're nice and tight. We don't want any gaps of thread. And now I'm going to modify that diamond into a chevron. And then comes the very delicate part, and that's to cut off the tag ends of the wrap that we built. This is where every rod builder holds his breath. Sometimes things come completely apart. When you least expect it, you cut the wrong thread, and then you've got a big mess on your hands. So we'll take off our tag wraps, being very careful not to scratch the rod blank. Insert our tie-off loop and continue wrapping over those cut ends. Getting very close to being done with this rod. And the lady that's going to get this rod is going to be really tickled. She's going to be very pleased, not only with the colors that she chose, but the way the rod feels, the way it fishes. It'll be something that she'll treasure for a long time. So we'll add a little decorative trim band to the end of this wrap. There we go. The last step would be to finish then the rest of the coating of the rest of the thread wraps, and this rod will be ready to go fishing. This is a fairly simple design. Some of the cross wraps can get very intricate, But we can make circles, squares, rectangles, hearts, all kinds of shapes by creating nothing more than these crosses. They're all done exactly the same. And then create an illusion by changing colors or direction of the thread as it lays on the rod blank. Here's kind of an intricate cross wrap that I have done. This is called a soaring eagle. And as you can see, there's all kinds of geometric designs. The wing of the eagle have dimension to it. His tail feathers have dimension. His head has a little dimension amongst a field of blue and in red and white. For this kind of year when I did this, it's right before the 4th of July, I felt a little patriotic and thought that maybe a soaring eagle as a cross wrap might be a neat idea to put on a rod blank. And this is all done with thread, one thread at a time, and then it's finished over with rod finish to protect it. Here's another kind of neat wrap. This is a Thunderbird, again with a field of blue, the Thunderbird, and then a mathematical color change wrap going from oranges and reds to purples and then fading into a very dark color. Kind of an interesting wrap. This is without question the most difficult wrap that I have ever done. This particular wrap between my thumbs took me about 24 hours to complete. It is a pattern. I could duplicate it, but it is so intricate and so involved that I really have no desire to do it again. This particular rod and that wrap helped me win a first place prize in a rod builders contest. This rod's got a lot of stuff on it, from feathers to cubic zirconium to mother of pearl and nickel silver, some aphazelia lay wood that came from Cambodia. It has 3 different rings in it, a mood ring, the nickel silver and mother of pearl ring, and it also has a toe ring to just give it a little pizzazz, a little something different. Here's another nice wrap. It shows how you can curve threads. Again, this is all cross wrapping. Everything is done exactly the same, but it becomes an optical illusion based on adding or subtracting threads in that cross wrap to create a little curved portion of that wrap. And then it was framed with a diamond. And then of course the patriotic wrap, the American flag, again is a cross wrap. There are of course 7 red stripes and 6 white stripes in the American flag in a field of blue. And we've done all of that with cross wrapping, wrapping one thread against the other to create an American flag, and then outlined it in black in order to create the flag itself. Put a little field of gold around it to give it another little frame. That's a very attractive wrap as well. Another thing that we can do with rods is inlay feathers, or coins or symbols, abalone shell. But I enjoy doing feather inlays using exotic bird feathers to create designs. Rod building is a very gratifying hobby, and it's something that nearly everyone can partake in and enjoy. You don't have to have a lot of fancy equipment. It can be very modest. A homemade wrapper is what you need to hold the rod blank, and a spool of thread and some guides, a cork handle. You can go about making a very, very nice rod yourself without having to spend a great deal of money, and certainly build a better rod after a bit of experience than what you can buy in the sporting goods store. Not that rods in the sporting goods store are not good. They certainly are. They will catch fish. But something that you build yourself gives you a little self-satisfaction and some pride. You know, it really is a neat thing.
If you enjoyed this segment of Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground, consider making a contribution at lptv.org. If you have segment ideas pertaining to North Central Minnesota, contact us at legacy@lptv.org. Common Ground is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund by the vote of the people on November 4th, 2008.